In the previous lesson, we looked at pad left and pad right and explored how to use those two methods to create tables for output in a label or a text box. I want to show you in this lesson another way to create tables using String.Format. In this methodology, we create a formatting string. In this case, I named it COLS for columns, in which we specify the width of each column and whether it's left aligned or right aligned. So you'll see here that I have 0, -5. 0 is the column number, so we start counting with 0. It is left aligned and has a width of 5 spaces. Then column 1 is right aligned with 3 spaces, and column 2 is right aligned with 3 spaces. So the columns are always going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, so forth. And then the second number within the curly brackets is the width, and if it's a negative, it's left aligned. Then we can create some standings for a sports league, and to use the string format to create columns, we simply set our text equal to string.format. The formatting string, in this case COLS, and I could use the literal string there as well, and then comma separated the items I want to put in each column. So column 0 is going to be team, column 1 is the character W, and column 2 is the character L. That's going to be my team wins and losses. And then I do another one in which I add a carriage return line feed, concatenating that to my LBL standings, and use equal signs to create an underscore of those headings. And then my 5 lines of the table, same thing, carriage return line feed, string.format, the formatting string of cols, the text, the number of wins, and the number of losses. And that builds my table we see down here at the bottom. Now again, the key here is we want to use a monospaced font, such as Courier News, so everything aligns nicely. Here's the same project from the previous lesson, which we used pad left and pad right. But here for the buttons, I used formatting strings. So here's columns 1. This is going to be for the first table. So I have 3 columns, a left aligned column with a width of 4, a left aligned column with a width of 20, and a left aligned column with another width of 20. And then for columns 2, this is going to be our items table. We have a column 0, which is a width of 6. I put a couple spaces in here. If you put spaces or other characters in your formatting strings, those will literally be represented. So I have 2 spaces here. Then column 1 is a left aligned width of 20. Column 2 is a right aligned width of 8. And column 3 is a right aligned width of 16. In creating the headers, I used string.format and specified columns 1 with the heading titles, as well as columns 1 with the underlines. Here for the TXT item table, I used columns 2 with the heading text, and then I used equal signs to underline those items. Again, using columns 2 to specify the formatting. When we're adding a state, I'm adding a carriage return line feed, string.format columns 1, and then the text property of those 3 text boxes. For adding item, again, concatenating carriage return line feed, using columns 2, we're going to use the quantity that we've put into our variable to string, the item. The third column, or column 2, is going to be the unit price to a currency, and then column 3 is the item total to a currency. In here I padded it to the left with a period for my character. So you might think you don't really need pad left or pad right anymore using string columns, but if you want to do things where you're adding characters other than spaces, pad left and pad right can be advantageous. If you just jumped into this video, you can see all the videos from the Programming Practicum playlist by clicking on the image in the lower right. And if you'd like to be alerted to future videos I create, you can click my picture in the top right to subscribe to the channel.